Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Tasia Floissac. Coming up, the community of Boetica to receive a state-of-the-art resource center, the President's Charities Foundation gives to the Dominica Infirmary, and we take an inside look at the new ballot box. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
A lot of bathtubs are blamed for bruises. Some staircases are accused of being responsible for broken bones. Doors are occasionally viewed suspiciously as causing lesions. A high percentage of tables are accused of producing bleeding or trauma. Violence against women is a crime, and it's everyone's responsibility. It's inexcusable. If you're a victim or witness of physical or psychological violence or abuse, seek help and denounce the perpetrator.
Thanks for staying with us. As the world observes today as a day for the elimination of violence against women, the Ministry of Social Services launched a 16-day of activism campaign against gender violence this morning. Honorable Minister for Social Services Gloria Shillingford addressed the nation in this regard.
The United Nations has declared November 25th as Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women as a constant reminder to all of those who continue to suffer from the very serious problem of violence against women. Today, therefore, marks the beginning of 16 days activism against gender violence campaign observed annually on this date. It is a day to reject violence against women and to commemorate several other observances, climaxing on December 10th, Human Rights Day. A major objective of the day is to raise awareness of the call for a zero tolerance of violence in all its forms.
Gender-based violence is any act or conduct based on gender which causes death or physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering to women, men, or children, whether in the public or in private spheres. Honorable Shillingford enlightened the public on some local gender violence statistics.
A national registry for domestic violence, which was established in July 2011, has since housed statistics of 717 reported cases of domestic violence. Of these, 620, that is 86.5%, were women, while 86, that is 12%, were men. In addition, the National Registry also has a recording of 468 cases of child victims, 65.3% of the total number of cases, comprising 403 girls and 60 boys.
Honorable Shillingford described these statistics as alarming and called on the nation to use the next 16 days to remember all victims of such crimes and to work to put an end to this atrocity. Locally, this event will be observed under the theme Challenging Stigma and Discrimination. Let's End Violence in Dominica. In that same vein, in her capacity as Director of Bureau of Gender Affairs, Rosie Brown has this message.
The message must go out that any form of violence cannot be or should not be tolerated. That we need to respect each other, and in particular our women and the children. That violence in any shape or form, be it physical, be it verbal, be it psychological and otherwise, it's a violation of the rights of a woman. And we are all entitled to our own rights and to our human rights. And we would want to call on all out there, especially those who are more advantaged, those in authority to be those to be of example and to avoid situation of violence. We want to also call on our women as well to be able to respect ourselves, respect themselves, and to demand respect of those with whom they encounter and those who are in their in whatever relationship they are with them, that they should not tolerate violence in any shape or form.
These were the smiles on the faces of residents as they welcomed the President, His Excellency Charles A. Savre, to the Dominica Infirmary this morning, November 25th, some of them even emotional. As is customary every year around this time, the President visits various charitable organizations with donations from proceeds of the President's Charities Foundation's annual dinner.
I have always found, whenever I have visited the infirmary, that this is a very well kept and very well run institution. It is not easy to look after the elderly. Many of them are bedridden. Some of them have various types of distemper, and they're not always very cooperative, and it's difficult. And I can say this because I have also had to look after elderly members of my family, so I know firsthand what this is all about. So it is a pleasure for me as President to be able to make this donation to you.
A check was presented to Director of the Infirmary, Diane Thomas.
I thank His Excellency the President and Mrs. Savre for donating us this check. It will come in handy because we're a non-profit organization and we need a lot of donations every day. And we do hope whoever is watching this will even express this gratitude by donating more to us. Thank you.
The President's Charities Foundation supports 19 other institutions besides the Dominica Infirmary. Antoine Rafoul is chairman of the foundation.
This year, we have contributed about $400,000 in 11 years. We spent over $100,000 on the children parties. So I think we have done well, and we look forward to God's blessing and His Excellency's guidance to do a little better next year.
A donation of sugar was also presented to the infirmary, complements the office of the President. The Dominica Infirmary is a government-assisted home for the elderly. The institution seeks to relieve the sufferings of the aged and destitute. The translucent ballot box being introduced effective this year's general election is top industry standards at this time and is used all over the world. The new box will replace the wooden ballot box since its security features far exceed its predecessor. This translucent box features 3 seals with serial numbers and 2 locks in addition to 2 signed paper seals for maximum security and accountability at every level. Chief Elections Officer Stephen Larocque takes viewers inside the security procedures relating to polling day.
At the end of the day, the presiding officer now has to empty out the ballot box to count the ballots in the box. So you have to open one lock. Two. We provide with scissors to cut the tie. Show securities. Then the seal that is placed at the close of the day is removed. It can be torn off. So the cover all the ballots in the box is turned over on the table for the presiding officer to count the ballots in the presence of the candidates, agents, and any elector who's available. And the poll clerk and assistant poll clerk will be the official tally clerks. So when it is poured out and it is shown to all present that the box is empty, then the counting of ballots begin. When you have done all the tallying and done all the paperwork, they are also provided with envelopes, and they are written what's supposed to be put in them. All that is placed in a large envelope and returned in the ballot box. Again, when that's done, the ballot box has to be resealed. And all other stationery provided has to be placed back into the box, because this has to be returned to the returning officer. So the boxes are now sealed back, padlocks put on. Also, we're putting on ties. Now there are two seals that they have to use. One is to seal the lid. It seals the lid so that no one can tamper it unless they break that seal. As well as you put a seal on the box now to seal the box as you did in the morning. Now those present, including the candidates and agents and the election officers. In addition to that, the police officer has to sign saying that the box has been sealed in their presence. When this is done, the presiding officer now transport these boxes to the returning officer's office. When all boxes are accounted for, they are now placed in the police station for security overnight until the following morning, when the returning officer has to do the final count.
The next morning, after being securely stored overnight and before the final count, the seals must be broken again by the returning officers and election clerks to conduct the final count of the ballots in each box. When the final count is complete, the returning officer confirms the results for transmission to the electoral office. After the elections, ballots remain in their boxes in the electoral office vault for a period of a year, unless there are any court-sanctioned queries.
The Honourable Parliamentary Representative for the La Plaine constituency, Honourable Peter Tasia, is promising the village of Boetica a state-of-the-art community resource centre. That resource centre is expected to be housed at the old Boetica Primary School. The Honourable Minister was representing the Honourable Prime Minister at the 14th inaugural meeting of the Boetica Village Council on Monday.
Just about 4 years ago, the Ministry of Education handed over this school to the Village Council. And of course, the Village Council had given to us a proposal, a Pastor Mia proposal, and therein contained great plans for this building, conversion into a community resource center, one that will address the issues affecting young people, single-parent families, and a number of other areas. I am prepared to work with you, as I've said before, to ensure that this project materializes, but I need the council to take a proactive approach in ensuring that we get this project done. And Jenna, I well understand, of course, the number of times that we spoke about it, the passion that you had. Unfortunately, that's life. There are certain things in life that we will never achieve. But somebody else is now well positioned to deliver on this project. And so, council, I want you to work together and ensure. And I'm prepared, and I'll tell you this. I wouldn't promise you here if I knew that we were not able to deliver. This building must be transformed. This old school must become the heartbeat, the brain of Boetica, so that Boetica's small community can lead the Southeast as far as youth involvement, participation, and that of single-parent families is concerned in the Southeast.
The Honourable Parliamentary Representative also promised that the Boetica playing field will be at the top of his agenda.
We view seriously the issues affecting the people of Boetica, but that there has to be collaboration between council and the community. And we have seen it work in the past. So I call on you to continue working with your council, work with your DDA and your DDO, work with the local government authority, because in reality, 8 gentlemen and ladies and a clerk cannot do it alone.
The Ministry of Health is warning the general public of the possible risks to the use of a drug made public by the Food and Drug Administration, FDA. The drug called Mayhem, promoted and sold for increased appetite and muscle growth, is said to have severe negative side effects. Acting Chief Pharmacist Dolores Sejean explains.
Mayhem is a drug that people usually use to enhance their muscle building and to just strengthen them. And it is a drug that the FDA warned about because it includes some undisclosed ingredients. The two that they are concerned about are dexamethasone, which is a corticosteroid, and cyproheptadine is something that most of us are familiar with. It's called Periactin locally, and these are the 2 drugs that were mentioned. Okay, dexamethasone as a corticosteroid, it reduces your body's resistance to infections. It reduces your body's ability to fight infections, and it also can increase your blood sugar. And for diabetics, that could be a problem.
Although the drug is not yet available on the Dominica market, health authorities are concerned that the drug can be purchased online.
What the Ministry of Health is recommending, that if you have been using that drug, then you should desist from using it because of the potential problems. Like I said, if you're diabetic, then you can have loss of control of your blood sugar levels. If you maybe have some sort of infection, like maybe you have a systemic infection, it can really become dangerous because your body will not be able to fight the infection. But even any other infection, it sort of reduces your immune system, so you cannot fight the infection. And also if people have other drugs using, like sometimes if you may be taking something like erythromycin, it can cause some sort of interaction with those drugs, and that can cause problems for you.
Cyproheptadine is commonly known as Periactin. Seja says that too also poses risks.
Nothing is wrong with Periactin. You should not use it on a regular basis. People use it for appetite, which is a side effect of the drug, but really it's an antihistamine. It's something you're supposed to use for allergies. It's supposed to be used for short periods. It can cause a decrease in mental alertness. So if somebody's driving a vehicle, they are more prone to have accidents. Or if somebody's operating a machine, they are more prone to have some sort of serious accident. So they should only be used for the purpose that they are prescribed for.
And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Curl highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ce nouvel en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, département Bureau Gender qui a collaboré et puis d'autres organisations Dominique pour observer 16-day activism bagaille pour rejeter violence au contre femmes. Parole cela sur le directeur Bureau Gender Rosie Brown, qu'on attention qu'à mettre à ce sujet cela en Dominique.
période ça là c'est le 25 novembre pour le 10 décembre. Et fait les ça là nous ca fait toutes sortes qualité activités. Pour ça nous ca aller radio, nous ca aller public là, nous ca aller visiter moun even nous ca ni assembly, toutes sortes qualité bagaille. Mais voyez ça là, nan ça là anti nous pas ka faire jet pass et aussi ni autant bagaille nous ca compter vers. So nous ka fait plus media activity là nous écouter les programmes radio, les TV. So comme organisation qui travaille ensemble, bureau qui prend lead là, so nous ka ni bitan les mapping les différents radio programmes. C'est ça nous ka fait plus dans ça. Mais nous ni anti photo competition nous dit avec négian. Nous still ka travailler ça pour nous pour jeunes moun et jeunes enfants l'école comment yo ka express quoi yo en photo competition photo. C'est ça qui est une activité qui target jeunes moun et négian.
À la nouvelle programme que East Caribbean Central Bank organisé par étudiants qui forment par activité Financial Information Month qui bénéficie yo autant. Parole ça là sorti officier banque là en Dominique Chemin John.
Programme ça là nous qu'a fait Financial Information Month programme là. C'est un bon programme et c'est un programme nous ni pour continuer parce que nous passe à ouest et wete la moun pa we pour retire ou la moun ka travail et yo ka donne dépenser l'argent yo ka fait n'importe bité yo li. Nous ni pour yo là yo plus petit là yo plus jeune. So ni pour dire yo bien bonne qui ja pour dépenser l'argent, qui comment pour save, comment pour dépenser, comment qui ni pour aller à la insurance, comment qui ni pour aller à la bills, à la mortgage. So plus bonne nous dit moun comme ça, et qui à servel yo. Et ça nous ka fait. C'est ti moun là qui viwe akay et yo ke di mama yo et parents yo, ça yo apprend et ça que fait maman yo made ko yo section parce que yo ni pour budget parce que yo ni pour garder qui ja yo ka dépenser l'argent et dépasser plus meilleur pour plus tard.
En notre nouvelle, National Youth Council Dominica fait bagaille positif en développement. Président Tasia Benoît a fait parole achievement à yo et puis plan pour aller devant. Benoît fait parole plan yo pour aller à un primer l'occasion pour être quartier yo. M. Benoît a aussi informé le public là contre team média à yo, ça qui avancé ou là yo que ni programme à station télévision. Youth Pulse qui a digital play pendant Youth Doc qui est à GIS. Benoît aussi fait parole en structure ça en l'occasion qui pour mettre en place pour plan agenda yo. Comme cela aussi ni plan pour un incubator qui mette attention à si agriculture. Et puis finalement, la division culture qui a gardé devant qui programme acte qui yo conduit à la jole qui aide les inmates gourmet au contre violence qui yo peut engager à dedans. Parole ça là sorti votre officier cultural mot qui était coordonné à programme là.
Si nous parlons de violence gang, nous regardons petit jeunesse qui a entré en gang. Si nous regardons section si vous suivre moun, eh ben moun ka suivre vous. Si moun ka suivre vous, ça aussi pose mou tuer. Vous comprenez? Nous aussi regarder si vous dans une situation là, un moun fait fâché, ça vous allez faire. Si vous allez parler, eh ben si vous allez marcher, si vous allez goumer. Bagaille comme ça. So nous avons une manière pour garder différentes situations difficiles pour ne pas faire ces mêmes mistakes que vous fait avant pour qui mettre dans la joie.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, Luce. Au revoir.
Like many habits, it's not easy to quit biting your nails. Coming up are a few tips that may help.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Most people prefer to use their teeth to cut their nails instead of reaching for the nail clippers. This causes bleeding, nail infection, and a lot of pain. There are also lots of germs living underneath your nails. These germs can enter your mouth and raise the risk of catching a cold or other illnesses. So here are a few tips that may help you break the habit. Number 1. Distract your mouth. Try chewing gum, sucking on sweets, taping your fingernails, blowing balloons, or munching on carrot sticks. 2. Distract your hands as well by taking up a hobby such as playing video games, drumming, or painting. If that doesn't work, try applying a special nail polish that makes your nails taste gross, or get regular manicures. If your nails look good, you may be less likely to bite them off. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website, news.gov.dm. Like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here at the GIS News Production Team, I'm Tasia Floissac. Thanks for watching.